Okay. Now I think the next big question is, well, I guess first off, let's claim some dailies and see what we get just from those. So we got a little bit of Sigma materials and a few extra speed ups. It's just from the regular dailies. I didn't claim any faction ones or anything. Oh, I hate when it does that. Now I just told everybody where our starbase is. Great. Well, that sucks. All right. Over here, this is where all of your G6 content comes from. It all comes from this area off of here. These new flight paths, right? These should have opened up. Yes. So this all unlocked and opened up. So let's go check out some of these new systems. That's a hazard system. Nice. This one's not. We'll take that flight path. For those of you who haven't noticed, occasionally when you hit your home button, it doesn't take you to where your home station is. It takes you to where your Alliance starbase is. Good job, Scopely. We appreciate that. All right, warp times, 3.5 minutes. That's another thing that goes back up, moving into new content. Your warp times, pretty significantly. Fleet Commander Janeway also saves. Appreciate that. Let's check out Fleet Commander Janeway's skill tree. I'm going to guess it's in the Scientist tree. What do you got? Research speed, those materials. Yeah, here we go, down here. You have to use some rare skill points, but she does have an ability while on duty that will lower the cost of that stuff as well. Can also do it for research as well and lower the cost of research for that G6 stuff. So there's even more efficiency available to you to try and reduce costs on things. Good to know. And then the other reason for doing this now, during the middle of this, while we have this event store claim, while we're flying out here, let's take a look at our choice rewards, because this all drastically increased as well. So now if I come in here and I'm now getting 6-star stuff, well, there's no 5-star epic in here, which kind of sucks. I was hoping there would be. There's not. But I am also getting 6-star materials. It's the same amount. This amount didn't change, the 5-star stuff. None of that changed. It's just added on 6-star materials as well. But that's okay. That's okay. Did I have a Janeway? I believe I had a Janeway ability selected, yes. Oh, I didn't. I didn't actually select it. There we go. Guess I missed that one. Thank you. So this first building now was like 70-something thousand. Now it's down to 69,000. So we shaved, I think it was what, 78? So we took about a good 10-15% off the cost. And by doing all those other claims, I also managed to get the common materials needed. So you can see now this went down. This is only 10.8 million now. It went from, what, 12.5 down to 10.8. So we managed to gain a little bit of par steel and stuff too. But now we're going to find out what happens when we try and fight some of these bigger hostiles. So these are 60s, which should be the same as everything else I've been used to. For those of you also curious, these are new Gorin systems. So if you have a high-level Eviscerator or high-level other ship, you can venture in, and we're going to go take a peek and compare some of this stuff. I guess we could do that on stfc.space as well. If we go to hostiles, if we were to say Gorn, so these would be the level 60s, which I'm used to fighting, versus the new level 61s. You're going from 3.5 billion up to 4 billion power. Okay. Same firing pattern and everything. So nothing drastically different there, except now they drop 6-star. Looks like they were already dropping 6-star ship parts. Or maybe those are just the wrong ships. All right, let's see what's in here. Let's see what's in Nero Kira, because we got all creative with our ways of naming stuff. Oh, as well as new missions. I should obviously take up new missions, because you never know what kind of materials and things you're going to get. And these guys are... Oh, these are the Gorn. These are the generic Gorn hunters. Okay, that's why. These aren't the ones that I was thinking that they were. I was looking at the wrong hostiles. But I guess just because I'm curious. Let's find out what happens if I try and kill a 61. How bad does it go? Well, we killed it. That's a start. A little bit of a dent. Not too bad, but a little bit of a dent. I also don't know what crew I have right now. Probably a hostile grinding crew, but... yeah, that's not bad. I did not do my component upgrade to tier up to tier 7. That's a little bit of a mistake on my part. I was just so excited to be out here fighting the new stuff, but... okay. Pike Moreau data, Janeway Moreau data. Yeah. Let's go look at these new Gorn. Retro, you're op 64. I'm sorry, 54. There are researches for 6-star uncommon materials. Can you get them from missions? No. Not that I'm aware of. I don't believe there are any similar to how you were able when you were in your 40s to do some 5-star missions and get 5-star rewards. Anything that's going to hand out 6-star payouts is going to be in 61 plus systems, and this is all locked. You won't have access to it until you get to 61. There's no locks on these systems. You can move into here as soon as you have the warp range, which is why it's easier when you're in your 40s to come into here, do some of these missions, get 5-star rewards, and then get primes and things that you're for free that you're supposed to have to buy. But they restricted that a little more heavily the other way around. Okay, that wasn't so bad. Got a little bit of the isomatter and stuff. So killing the 61's not terribly more difficult. The level 60 Macronax is 500 million power. So, okay, so the power level doubled. That's for sure. The power level doubled. But potentially not all that bad. That's a hazard system. These are all hazard systems up here. Okay. Well, we don't like that. This one is not. Hazard systems will slowly chip away at your hull health until you're dead, just for being in there. So we're trying to avoid the hazard systems for now because I haven't done any of the hazard research. Also, the hazard research, as far as I understand, only applies to your G6 ships for the most part, I think, right? So you're going to have some restrictions and limitation. Some of it does apply to the entire factions. Okay. There's base has, and then there's G6 has. Okay. Okay. Good to know. So that'll be helpful. So we can work on some of that research in a little bit. Molesto, first time being here. Since talking 6-star mats, what would be the best investment into a prime with 500 of the uncommon stuff at Ops 53, 54? I have no idea. I do not buy primes anymore. I haven't bought anything in this game in almost a year. So I am the wrong person to ask on what to spend money on. The short version would be buy something you can't get for free somewhere else, I guess, would be the basic answer. Buy something that doesn't have a free-to-play path. Ooh. I can come in here and I can mine. Just curious. Don't have the warp range to reach, right? With the Novas. This is a warp 900 kind of thing. So not going to be able to reach out here with the Novas. But I could potentially relocate my base. And come out here and maybe, I don't know, does this, if there's, I'm sure there's, yeah, nope. I'm sure artwork is amazing. And I'm sure one of these systems out here I could relocate to that may help with the mining and whatnot, but and then that's where you start to get into some of your solo armadas and stuff the further and further you get into this. Yeah, somebody was saying to go to a system called Stolastica, but I don't see that one out here. Let's go look for it. It's there. Okay. Oh, it's in the lower half. I was up here in this wing. There's actually another wing that comes off of the ships this way. Okay. And then they all kind of meet up. Okay, so let's go this way. Thank you. Going to relocate to certain systems. Yep, the low. Okay, appreciate that. Shrev's Eye, where you can get G6 gas. And a lot of these ones, you're going to use your NX-01 to get out here and reach these things. Because this is what, warp 1400? I don't even know if my NX-01 has high enough 1400. I might have to do some more research on that one, because I don't think I do. I'm probably missing a research or two. Oh, I got warp 1540. Okay, never mind. I'm wrong. So yeah, so you would take your NX-01, you'd fly out to some of these places. All right, let's do this. That's a 12-minute flight. Let's get them going. Can you just peek in? I don't think you can peek into a system you've never been to. I think you have to go there at least once before you can peek at it. And then if it's shrouded, then you can peek into it. But I'm pretty certain, we'll double check. But I'm pretty certain you can't peek into a system you can't get to. Must have visited a target system at least once. Yep, there you go. So I have to go there first. Good to know. All right, so here we got some level 60 and level 61 interceptors and whatnot. These are some Breen hostiles. Brett, I appreciate the bookmarks. Thank you for those. Malagrian and Tanqua. And here's a mission that's right here in the first system, so let's keep that moving along. Mine in silent space, Prim says. Mining rates are nominally better. You know, that's a good question, is because people forget a lot of times that where the silent hostiles are up here, there are mining nodes. There's a very small amount of them, but there are mining nodes in here. What would be the warp range to get in there? 950. Probably shorter flight time. Does require using tokens though, but you know, options. Giving yourself options, good idea. What do you want? Blah, 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 blah. Sure. Oh my goodness. 3 million dilithium. Okay, that's fine. Oh, hey. That's kind of cool. So I have the ability to, this nice little handy dandy button here lets me flip between Sigma and regular materials. That's cute. I like that. Why can't we have that on other screens? Okay, great. Oh, there's also another mission. What do we get in here? I mean, sure. Nothing spectacular, but it's here, and we're already doing stuff here, so I guess we'll pick it up too. That mission's done. Cool. Yeah. I appreciate all of the help that you guys have given. Obviously, moving into this new area, some of you are more familiar with it, so I just want to take a second and say about picking that stuff up. Yes, obviously, anytime you move into new areas, be mindful of your missions, so you don't end up picking up too much stuff and jamming up your queue. Always an important takeaway there. Let's kill another 61. All right, and then there's a lot more other systems in here to explore with all of this stuff here. You're getting 4 billion strength hostiles. But of course, I can still work my way backwards and still do my level 60 for some of this stuff. Or I have to come in here and kill faction ships, which I'll have to work on as well for other events. You can always archive missions. There's a limit on that too. There are caps on the number of missions you can have in both your active and archived screens. I want to say something stupid, like it's like 75. Like you can't have more than like 75 missions at one time or something. So we're working on Hostile Hunt. We're chipping away at that. We're chipping away at some of this other stuff. I can disco and NSEA later. And in the meantime, this is a building and research upgrade. Okay, but that's a spend material one, which we'll get back to. This is the ship upgrade one, which is just spending ship parts, which I'm about to do whenever my Enterprise goes back to base. Oh, that's just nice. Some of these missions up here actually give you artifact shards. Interesting. Well, how handy. All right. As the people were saying that there's a whole new wing of stuff that opens up here. Not going to be surprised at all to find out that now that I'm 61, there's all a bunch of 5-star research I still haven't finished, right? But now this gets way more difficult, as now there's a whole bunch of 6-star stuff as well. So the combat tree got a huge expansion. There's also some of this stuff like this Prime Siege Warfare. I can now, because I have 6-star materials, because this is what I get, I can complete that one. Some of these are 7-star, which doesn't exist yet, except for buying stuff. Boost critical hit damage against armadas by 50%. Like, that's something I can do now. I'm going to have a lot of research to catch up on, for sure. See if there's any other primes in here that perhaps I now have access to. Ooh, this is cost efficiency for upgrading stuff. I have enough dolomite now. I could perhaps lower that if I wanted to. But also getting 6-star materials. Nope, those are specialty ones. There's nothing else in there. What about Galaxy? A lot of these are specialty materials. They don't do a whole lot. Ah. Prime tribute ones. Multi-tier faction primes is what Balbom's talking about, and here's what we just come across. So now you've got increasing reputation gain and losses from hostiles. So you're going to get more rep or potentially lose more rep for killing them. Grants a daily free bundle containing reputation and credits in the faction store. Reputation and credits increase with each research level, and this is a 7-tiered prime. And he's saying you can free to play the first 5 levels of this for each of them. And they all do require different 6-star materials. So hypothetically speaking, I could just take this one, like right now. I need Klingon rep, right? I could just take that one right now. And now that just gave me, in my faction store, a new daily claim in my Klingon store. Klingon tribute. I get 400 credits and 100,000 rep. Boo. But obviously, as you scale it up, that'll increase. Also, now from killing hostiles, I will gain more Federation, Klingon rep as well. Krista says, don't waste your time with those. I mean, every little bit counts, right? And as you get them higher and higher, it's more credits, it's more claims. But what else do we have in here that requires 6-star material? Well, this one here, they give you extra refinery options for your 4-star mats. Probably don't really need to focus on refining more 4-star materials, although leveling up and scrapping ships is always helpful. So this could be something that would just make that process a little more palatable, but I think I'm going to hold off on using my limited G6 materials on that stuff for right now. And a lot of this other stuff here. Yeah, see, this will give me more 5-star mats. This one seems more useful. Like this one right here, get more 5-star gas. Well, I need a lot of 5-star gas and epic gas and stuff, so this seems like a good one to get. And nothing else in here would have any type of like G5 prime stuff related. It's typically only the first 3 trees that really use that. Everything else is always a specialty currency after that and these other trees. But we can certainly do that, and I'll leave that one for a couple of hours here, so that way when 6 hours from now, when this refinery's up, I'll pull it, and then I'll complete the research and then pull it again. All right, but we do need to kill 61s, right, for this new daily. Now let's look at the rep gain on these guys, right? What's the rep? Losing 200, 170k, gaining 90 and 45. Okay. That makes some good videos going 50 to 51 and 60 to 61, highlighting the changes that take place as you enter the new economy. I already have one for 50 to 51. When I did that last year on my free-to-play account, I kind of took the time, sat down, broke it all out. What was changing, basically everything we're doing right now, I did when I went from 50 to 51. So that video already exists and is on my channel on YouTube. And this content will be over there later today. All right, let's see what we got. So what do you guys think so far? Does it seem on paper like I made a good choice? Or are you guys all like, I would never do that. I don't know why he did that. I certainly can't go back now, so. Mashed Potatoes wondering, is there information as to what level ranges SLBs are broken down into? Not exactly. Because SLBs don't have a set pattern per se. They kind of fall into, usually people within, if you're in a G, like 41 to, or 40 to 45 and then 46 to 50 are kind of, in a bracket, and then same thing in the 50s. But some events are a little different, and now some of the 50s and the 60s are in the same bracket, and some of them are 61 plus. It's kind of still depends on the people designing the events that month. They haven't exactly locked it all down just yet. All right. What I can do here is now I've got enough to do this last component. But even still, I mean, we do this last component. We spend some ship parts. And now I can tier it up to 7. So we moved up a little bit there. And I can also work on a few other things here. I would want shields first. Now we're talking about more 5-star epic ore. Now we're using a little bit of. Okay. More warp range. That's an extra 50. Might come in handy. Or a little extra dodge might also be helpful too. Not moving the needle all that much. That's rare that I don't have. That's epic that I don't have on the weapons. All right, let's take the warp range. It's an extra 50. We were at 1069 before. Now we're at 1123 because of Kirk's ability. That modifies my warp range. So getting that extra 50 actually got me a little bit more than that. Actually got me almost an extra 60. So now that might open up a few more possibilities for me. In the meantime, my NX-01 has officially reached the space where I can mine stuff. Yay! And you can see how bad this is. I'm getting 8,000 an hour with a Nova, it would take a really long time at 8,000 an hour to do it. Although, hey, there's some missions out here that give out some pretty high level rewards, but I probably can't kill any of this stuff, so we're going to leave that there for now. But you never know. Research some of these mission chains on stfc.space. You might find some ones that are just like, hey, go deliver this stuff. And that might get you some additional rewards that may help with your early building upgrades and stuff like that. You don't have to worry about OPCs? Sure. What's up, GP? Prince says, would I skill the G4 epics? I'm sorry, would I skip the G4 epics and get a 53 uncommon? Depends how fast you're moving up. Because a G4 epic versus a G5 uncommon, like skill-wise and power-wise, they can be fairly similar. You're going to have to get a G5 uncommon up to like tier 6 or so before it exceeds what like a tier 9 or 10 G5 epic or G4 epic would be. So like a Tribune versus a Vorcha, right? A tier 10 Tribune is going to be probably a little better than like a tier 4 Vorcha. And it's using older materials in the G4 content versus the new one, which is using the 5-star materials, which is what you're going to want for your base and your research and stuff. So it kind of all depends on your spending habits and how much resources and things you plan on buying and how quickly you plan on moving up. Because it can take a little while to go from, 50 to 51 is pretty quick and you get into 52 pretty well. But then going from 52 all the way through 53 and getting the shipyard and stuff like that, it can take some resources and that can take a little while. And then it also depends on how fast you want to go from 53 to 56. I'm also experimenting on that account. I think I'm just going to skip the 53 uncommons. I skipped the 40 on 2 uncommons because I used the specialty ships to carry me over past those so I could devote the resources into leveling up faster. Free to play account, $0 spent. So that's why I focused on doing it that way. And moving from now into G5 content, well, my Talios just got tiered up significantly and it's over 100 million power. I have a G4 Epic Enterprise that's like 180 million power. My Monavine just tiered up. That's like 90 million. My Cube just tiered up. That's like 90 million. Like, I have some ships that I think I can do some stuff with that I might very well just skip the G5 uncommon, just skip the Vorcha, and just move right as quickly as I can. Just keep pushing forward and using those resources to get to 56 instead. That's my current plan on my free-to-play account. We'll have to wait and see how that plays out. But again, I think a lot of those specialty ships, Talios, Monavine, Borg Cube, are good for stuff. Obviously, the NX-01 can let you relocate your base if you need to do certain events. Same thing with Voyager, can let you relocate as you need to. Armadas and solo armadas and stuff, that can be a bit of a challenge. But I feel like there's enough power creep in the game now that's a lot of just the inherent research and bonuses and buffs and mirror boosts and the Protector and all that other stuff. Like the Protector can get to insanely high power levels now in that range. So I feel like there's enough options that I'm okay with skipping that stuff. Cat Lady, you're feeling unloved because you said hello and no one said hi back? Well, hello. Direct Dave, you're going to 61 today? Well, welcome to the club. I've done it for, I've been 61 for about an hour now. And so far, it's not that bad. Ooh, now I gotta go into a hazard system. Well, just for poops and giggles, you guys will see. Famous last words. Yeah. It's not that bad. I don't know what you're all complaining about. This stuff's easy. By the way, where is all the hazard research? Is that in station or is that combat? That's gotta be combat, right? I think you said everything's in combat. So everything out here, which I probably can't even get to yet, to be honest. Because I'm sure it's all tied, isn't it? Yeah, it's all tied. Oh, no, it's not. I just have to get the R&D to 61. Okay, so I have to get the R&D building to 61, which requires me to do a couple of the other buildings first. Okay. Then that'll unlock, and then I can just sort of skip ahead. And when you get done with all your hazard research, then you can come in here and you can try your luck at converting them into ship parts in the future. Don't do it now. You're going to need it for the research. G6 is easier now than when it was first released. Definitely seems that way. And again, that's always the price. You know, the spenders kind of define the new era, the new economy. They get access to the new content first. They kind of beta test it for the rest of us. And then Scopely goes, okay, you know what? We want more people engaging in this. Let's make it easier. They did the same thing with G4. They did the same thing with G5. Now we've gotten to that into G6 because they want more people to keep moving up so that way they can keep adding new higher end content because, you know, eventually they'd like to add G7 someday. All right, so we've just moved in, and as you can see, I'm already dying. I may not even make it to this point. You can see my health is already dropping. Just ticked away again. So I'm going to have to get the heck out of here real fast. But I'm just going in here and trying to turn in my mission. Great. I'm done. I'm done. Hide. No, I don't want to go across the system. Damn it. Oh, I gotta go kill something too? Oh, you're killing me. Literally. They're literally killing me. I don't have time to read your dialogue. I'm dying. Balabom says never warp to a hazard system. Always warp to the system right before it, and then when you're actually paying attention, then warp into the hazard system so you don't die. That's good advice, especially with some of these larger warp times, right? You know, you see that now. If you have a system that's 8 minutes away, well, you send a ship there and then you go do something else. And then that might cause you to forget about it. Where are those other systems that Brett mentioned earlier? I'm sure they're probably the same ones, right? Malagrian and Tanakh. Let's go there. See, 21 minutes, right? It's a 21-minute warp time all the way up there. So if I took my sweet ass time, I'm going to walk away and I'm going to go do something for 21 minutes. I'm not just going to sit there and pay attention to that. I might play another game. I might go make a sandwich. Maybe now's a good time to go, you know, clean out the gutters. Come back. Find my ship is still flying. So that's definitely good advice about warping in and out related to the hazard systems. So, all right. Why'd you look at that? We've gone completely over our time limit already. So let's take a peek at who else might be on right now. Is there maybe a Moose on, or nobody else is streaming yet? I know Rev should be on YouTube soon. He usually does his YouTube stream around like 1:30, 2 o'clock on. Yeah, he's starting in a few minutes. All right. That can be found for those of you who don't watch him on YouTube. There's the link to that. You wanted to see me do a 61 solo? That's not going to be today. That's not going to be today. I think there's a few other things I need to get ducks in a row first before we move on to that one. Maybe Tuesday, though. Maybe Tuesday night we'll work on a 61 solo. And just see how that goes. '61s are easy. Just relocate into a system and use them whenever you want. But I've got miners out. Actually, they're just about full. You're not. You got a little more room to go. But you're basically full. You get 3 61 uncommon solo directives a day. I did see that. That did seem like a big help. When are they going to update away teams? Which part of away teams? Like the away team store so you can spend your faction credits on G5 ships later this year. The actual missions themselves that give out better rewards, nothing that I've heard is even on the plans for that. It's on the roadmap, so your guess is as good as mine. I would say that's going to be a summer project, probably. Making an addition and revision to the away team store, so then G5 ships are accessible. My money's on summer 2025 for that one. I said do the warehouse first. Well, that's weird. Oh, doesn't require any new materials. I guess I should do this then, huh? I should probably get this stuff going as well. Get my generators actually making new materials. Lower that, start getting some of that Sigma stuff. It would probably be helpful. Getting my into level 40, get an extra. I won't be able to collect my generators though? What you talking about? Oh, because I'm over my storage capacity? Good point. I'm already over my limit. Yeah. Makes sense. Oh, but they do increase my my bonuses, right? You get new levels. Now that this has expanded from 60 to 61. I get additional hull health bonuses. Ooh. Well, that's not so bad. And again, these are still using old materials. So that's fairly helpful as well. The storage cap in Sigma is so low. Yeah, that does seem to be a problem. You're right. Pallet bombs are actually working. Guess you spent way too much materials then. Yeah, we could do the other ones too, I guess. I would need the other warehouse. That also requires 6-star stuff, and that would be probably pretty expensive. That's actually not so bad. The 6-star uncommons, or I'm sorry, common materials, that's actually not so bad. But I guess at the very least, we should at least get this process started. Morning, DJs. Happy birthday week. Did everybody sing happy birthday to DJ? Geez, wonder if this is a mobile game. It is a mobile game. It's available on PC as well, which is what we're playing on the PC version because it's a lot easier to stream from the PC version. Is it on Steam? No, the PC version is downloadable directly from the creators of the game. All for free. There's probably also a handful of people doing sponsored streams for this game because there almost always are. And you could just grab one of their creator links and start playing. That would also help them. Or just follow that link and go directly to StarTrekFleetCommand.com. Oh, I didn't finish this one yet. We're a little behind. We're still at 59 on some of these. Oops. DJ went to 61 this morning. I couldn't let Samo pass me. It's all ego and vanity. No, actually, I just talked to enough people who said, why camp at 60? Go to 61. You get more 5-star resources. It'll make your 60 stuff level up faster. And I was like, that's a very good point. All right, we finished our building upgrade event. Look at that. Woohoo. And we have some very basic beginning Sigma materials, but again, I don't have the capacity to hold them, as people have pointed out. So we're capped here because my levels are so low until I get these generators and stuff, and maybe there's probably other research to boost the capacity and whatnot. It's kind of like starting all over again, right? Your generators didn't really do much at like Ops 5. So yeah. But we'll see what can happen. We will see what can happen. Valvom spent 300 million Latinum this morning, and you're not very sure how. Yep, same thing going from G4 to G5. Yep. Yeah, you just end up getting more resources and materials of the older stuff. Even if you don't push and do the newer content, and you just sort of like, just get better payouts of the older content, it will speed things along a little bit for sure. So this, we got these done. Good, good, good. I don't want to claim those yet. We gotta go do some Klingon rep. But now, what am I doing here? Alright, so I need a couple more kills for this one. That's a big payout. That's 187 million Klingon rep. We like that one. And if I do the second one here, that's another 370. So that's like 500. You get 500 million just from doing your dailies. Potentially. Now, granted, they'll all wash each other out if you're not doing anything. But if you're just like, I'm just going to single grind one particular faction rep all the way to the next lock, which is 500 billion, by the way. You know, you get 500 million just from these two dailies. Plus, then you throw in your mining dailies, right? 6-star mining. There's another 500 million. So there's a billion. And you do your other one. That's another, you know, close to, You're getting like 1.5 billion a day just from doing your 6 daily missions. That's without killing anything. And then other refinery claims and all that other fun stuff will certainly expedite that as well. So you get plenty of credits, you get plenty of reputation, all in a very, puts you in a very good spot. We're going to go back here and we're going to finish this one up. But I have a floating miner. I recalled it. Why did it not come back? Oh, because it went to the wrong system. Because it thinks it's going to where my Alliance starbase is. But it's not really there. It's not really floating, right? This is a game glitch. I don't know. I'm sure when I log back in, it'll be right where it's supposed to be.